Hello, and welcome to my new channel. My name is Billy, and for those of you who don't know, I started a couple of channels a while back. The main one that I had started was a music-driven podcast kind of channel. It was a channel where I did gear reviews on different guitars and guitar accessories, amps, pedals, things of that nature. And I also did a podcast with a very good friend of mine. It was a great time. And the only issue that we really had with it was we started a podcast when everybody started a podcast. We started it right before the pandemic in 2020. And unfortunately, it kind of crushed us. It was a lot of work because we were doing a video and audio podcast. And it was a lot of work that we put in many hours each week and didn't seem to get a whole lot out of it other than the fact that we were creating. Fortunately, while filming these different podcasts, I realized that I had a passion for working with the camera. When it came time for editing, it was a little daunting. I was a little terrified because I had no idea what I was doing. Even with doing some gear reviews here and there and working with some other friends on those, I still struggled to find the passion and the want to jump in and start editing right away. It took a while, but eventually I got to the point where I love editing. I love filming. I love editing. And so I decided that I needed to pivot. I still love music. I still love gear, but I can tell you right now that for me to be creative with music, I need to be in a band. I need to be surrounded by like-minded people with me. And for some reason, it's one area in my life that I absolutely love, but can't find the will or ability to create on my own. Might be a skill issue, something along those lines. What I did find while doing the podcast was I love, like I said, I love filming and I love editing. So I decided that it was time to make a change. Now, what I started filming that podcast on was the Lumix G85. Let's see if that'll focus here. It's a nifty little camera. I love it. For the price, I don't think you can beat it. It's a micro four thirds camera, so it sucks for low light. We found that out real quick, and I think I had ISO values and everything completely out of whack and had no idea what I was doing. Like everybody else, I did a ton of research on YouTube, and I found that there are a lot of answers out there, but not so much for beginners. And so what I really like to do with this channel is kind of take some of these steps from a beginner's standpoint. You know, I did learn that this is a great camera as long as you have a lot of light. You know, some fast lenses would help. I was mainly running on a 12 to 60 kit lens, which is a 3.5 aperture. And I struggled to get good quality videos out of it unless I was outside in bright daylight. Take this, for example. I went to a pumpkin patch with some family and I filmed some really cool stuff out there and I had a good time with it. And then fast forward to last year, I decided that I wanted to upgrade my camera and I got the GH5 Mark II. See if that'll focus there. And this thing is an absolute workhorse. Still on the micro four thirds system. I figured I understand that it's still bad in low light, but my thoughts was this would be better. And in some ways it is. It obviously looks better. Picture quality is better. You know, panning left to right, which I don't do often, but when needed, it doesn't look like the entire screen is about to burn your eyes, which is the issues with the G85. I got the Leica 10 to 25, which is a 25 to 50 equivalent from the micro four thirds. It's a 1.7 and it looks incredible. And so once I got that, I kind of had a discussion with myself and also my wife. And I said, I need to do something with these cameras. I've got money invested in them and I want to have some fun with them. And I want to be able to be creative still while still being present at home for the most part, you know, not playing a bunch of gigs or practicing every single night with the guys. What is it that I can do? So I decided I was going to start filming weddings. And that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I wanted to be able to tell stories, to give joy to any of the people that I filmed for. So I filmed my first wedding back in November, and I had a great time. I filmed it with the GH5 Mark II. I had my G85s. I had 3 of them at the time. I had those all as B cams. I pulled along my buddy who was helping me do the podcast, and we both very much enjoyed it. The next step was to form a business, start doing more weddings, start filming more, see what I could do, really learn my cameras and be able to take off. And as a beginner and a dad and, you know, I own a house, I have cars, I have bills. You know, it was tough to be able to really get the gear that I wanted. So I decided the GH5 Mark II was the way to go for a long time. And moving forward, I filmed another wedding, but again, it was inside. I struggled with low light. I had the fast lens, but when it came time for zooms, I had the Lumix 14 to 150. It was some really weird zoom lens. I still have it somewhere around here. I struggled with it. There was issues that I struggled with, and I didn't love what came out of it, but I got some cool shots out of it, especially with the colors and everything. I knew Lumix was my way to go. And then it came time to do another wedding, and I knew that there was no way I was ready, because this was going to be the one. This is going to be the one to really set my portfolio straight and get me, hopefully, some more clients out of it. And I decided it was time to buy a new camera. So what I'm filming on today is my Lumix S5 Mark II, not the X, but the Mark II. I got it before the X came out. I don't regret it yet, but I'm sure I will. But at some point, I plan on getting the X as well as my A cam. This would be my B cam. But all of this is to be said to say that this is the new channel. And I'm going to be talking about these three cameras a lot. You saw some footage that I've put throughout this video with those three cameras, and they're all pretty good, in my opinion. Now, from a beginner standpoint and somebody who's still learning exactly what aperture to use when, what ISO to use and not to use, what memory cards I should be buying, what accessories for the camera I should be buying, whether it's microphones or lav mics or any of that, we've got a lot to talk about. I'm a gear enthusiast. A lot of that comes from being a musician, especially a guitar player. Anytime you see that new bright, shiny guitar, you want it. If you are a guitar player, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime the new amp launches or the new amp modeler, you want it, right? So I am setting forth a journey to talk about these, to show off more films, to hopefully get into more filming outside of weddings, whether that's commercial work, documentaries, short films, anything like that. The floor and the ceiling is wide open and high. That's kind of my plan with this channel, is to help anyone that doesn't quite understand some of these things, that might need a beginner's mindset to really explain what the hell are we doing here, and also be creative, because I love doing it. I absolutely, again, love filming. I love editing, and I love telling a story. I'm not very good at it yet, but that's the journey I plan on taking everybody on with me, to get good and to really drive home how much you could do with little, and as well as what can you create with some of the best gear out there, like the Lumix S5 too. I hope everybody sticks around for this. I know it was kind of long. Hopefully some of the B-roll footage made it a little better for you. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this channel. I'm excited to create. I'm excited to show you more. I'm excited to do more weddings. I'm excited to do hopefully some commercial work coming up soon. I'll be doing some stuff with bands as well. And if you want to know anything about any of these cameras, what lenses I use, what gear I use, a lot of that's going to be answered, one, in some upcoming videos, and two, feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know. If there's something specific you want to know and I can make a separate video out of it, I certainly will, because, again, I enjoy doing it. If you also like what you see, if you could hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. I think that's it for this video. This is a welcome to the channel. Welcome to Backline Films. Again, my name is Billy. I appreciate you stopping in. If you made it this far, thank you. Have a great day. Have a great week. And hopefully soon, I'll have a new video out soon on probably the G85. I think I'm going to go for my journey from G85 all the way to the S5 Mark II. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it with me. Thank you.